My name is Lieutenant Nonkosazana Memani.
I'm Lieutenant Mteteleli Memani. We currently serve the Salvation Army at Midlands Corps, which is in Johannesburg, South Africa. We also serve in another corps, Stelfontein, which is in the northwest. Before I responded to the call, I used to work for a large logistics company in South Africa. I served in various places, but when I left, I was, I would call it a senior manager, heading the operations in Durban.
Before I had my calling, I was a stay-at-home mom, but before I was working at the retail shop. When I had the calling, I was very young. It was just before I get married. I delayed it because of some circumstances in life. And when I got married, I also delayed it. I didn't want to come to officership because I had a new family, looking forward to be a mother and a wife.
God spoke to us, in my case, in a clear voice. I don't know, there's a difference between a dream and a clear voice. We had just gotten married in 1992, but we never spoke about it. She never spoke to me about her call, neither did I speak to her about my call. I bargained with God at the time. I said, God, I come from a poor family. I just got work. Give me time. But in 2012, God came back to me. And this time, the voice was more audible. In fact, I woke up and I looked at my wife because I thought maybe she was the one who was speaking. She was fast asleep. I got off bed and I went on my knees and I prayed. We spoke about it. I woke up and in the morning, we phoned retired Commissioner Olkas to see if we can get a confirmation. When we entered his house, he looked at us and he asked, do you know the spirit of discernment? And for me, that was sufficient. We prayed and he encouraged us to respond to the call. But at that time, our hearts were already content that we'll obey this time.
We delayed the call because we didn't know how our children and my mother will feel about it. Up until on a welcome of Major Mahlangu, then it was going to be a DC in mid-KZN, and there was the altar call. And I couldn't wait any longer. The edge was there, and the calling was very strong on that day. And we went forward without consulting or sharing with our children about it. When we talked to them, they accepted it, but the daughter didn't accept it. The son said he was waiting for it. And also my mother also said she was waiting for it. She knew that our calling was with God. We had to work for God.
The journey this far, we've been in the field now for a year. This is our second year. It has had its ups and downs, as all life is, but it's fulfilling. To see lives transformed, to see the core life changing for the better. We are truly blessed. But as I say, as with all life, you have your days where you need 25 hours, and you have your days where God gives you relief.
As an individual in this calling, I would say I knew for a fact that God needed me to serve him and to be helpful to the people who are in need. God is a patient God. In our case, he waited for us, but it's not everybody that God will wait for them, because there is a need now. It could happen that God needs you now. So when you delay it, you will never have a happy life. We say that we had a happy life because we had everything that we needed. But it was not happy because there was something that we know we owe God.
The contentment that I have in serving God, as I've said earlier, in making a difference to an individual. In the corporate world, I could have made a difference in companies' perspective. But to see one person responding to receive salvation and to pray with that person, it is much worth more in the kingdom than anything I could have done in the corporate world. Don't doubt God's power to use you for his kingdom. I would encourage you to respond to God with a yes.